Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise.
Hey everybody, welcome to the next stage of the Pensky podcast. Welcome to all the listeners who just finished up TNG with us. Hopefully you're continuing on to our next step, which is going to be going through the original series. And if you're a new listener, this is a podcast where we're running through a lot of episodes of Star Trek. We just finished TNG. We ran through all 178 episodes of that. It took us a couple years. Now we're moving on to TOS before we move on to the movies, and then Deep Space Nine after that. So we're not doing the entire TOS selection. We're just going to be doing about 20 episodes, and I'll get to that later or in a couple minutes. So don't worry if you're not too excited by TOS. We're not going to get sort of hung up here for very long. If you do love TOS, maybe I'll do something in the future where I'll occasionally pick up a TOS episode to talk about while we're doing Deep Space Nine or stuff. But people seem to want to move on to Deep Space Nine. But I wanted to do TOS before we do the movies for TOS and The Next Generation, because I think Generations makes more sense if you've gone through the TOS movies. So that's about it. There's going to be a few changes. This is just an introduction episode to sort of segue into the TOS portion. There's a few changes. We're going to be having sort of light changes to the format of each episode. The cold open thing where I used to talk about the director and the episode title and short synopsis is kind of going to be moved and merged into the main part of the episode. You'll notice that in the first one that we did, The Cage. There's new music. Let me know what you think about that. There are new thumbnails, obviously, on YouTube, and the schedule for release. I used to do Sunday and Wednesday releases for TNG. I'm going to move it to a Monday to Thursday. Hopefully that works better for people. I think Sunday is kind of a weird day to release a podcast on because people, the majority of people work on Monday to Friday. So I think those days are sort of more in demand in terms of podcast content that people would be able to and want to have on those days. So it'll be a Monday and Thursday release schedule for those things. And that's pretty much it. I guess we'll go through the TOS episodes that we're going to be covering, actually. The way we came to this was that a poll was put up on the subreddit Star Trek Viewing Party, and the community there voted on what they thought were sort of the essential TOS episodes that should be covered. So I picked the top 10 from that list, and then I added a few as they sort of filled in the gaps of what I thought would be. So we ended up with about 20 episodes. Season 1, here's the episodes we're going to be doing. The Cage, Where No Man Has Gone Before, The Corbomite Maneuver, The Man Trap, Conscience of the King, Balance of Terror, Arena, Space Seed, A Taste of Armageddon, Errand of Mercy, The Alternative Factor, and City on the Edge of Forever. Season 2, we're going to be doing Amok Time, Mirror Mirror, The Doomsday Machine, Journey to Babel, Trouble with Tribbles. And then Season 3, we only have 2 of them. It's Spock's Brain and Turnabout Intruder. Then after that, we'll be doing the movies, the motion picture Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, Voyage Home, The Final Frontier, and The Undiscovered Country. So that's it. If you guys think I'm leaving out any of your favorites, let me know. You can always contact me via YouTube, the comment section, or you can email the Pensky File video at Gmail. It's the Pensky File video at Gmail. You can also follow me on Twitter at that Pensky File, THAT Pensky File. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, we're excited to be moving on to TOS. We've already recorded The Cage. It's going to come out on Thursday, and it's interesting. It'll be a nice change of pace from all the TNG-centric stuff that we've been doing for a couple years to move on to something that feels a bit more new, even if it's not totally different. And lastly, I guess this would be a good thing to just sort of plug, you support the podcast when you can, or if you're willing to. We'd love it if you could. You could like and comment on YouTube. Like us on all your podcatchers like iTunes and stuff like that. Rate us on those things. It's very helpful getting the show out there. You can go to facebook.com/The Pensky Podcast. And you can also go to patreon.com/The Pensky Podcast, where for a couple $1 a month you get extra content. We do exclusive Patreon podcasts that if you give $2 a month you get access to. We talk about a variety of stuff, movies, off-topic Star Trek things. We did the 10 Essential TNG episodes was on Patreon. And coming up, we're going to be doing Total Recall. And after that, it's going to be a poll. So everyone who donates $3 to the Patreon can get the option to vote, in addition to listening to the podcast, to vote about what we're going to cover that month. And I'll be putting up a poll for what we're going to be covering in February very soon. And Total Recall is coming out right after that. That's it, guys. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the TNG section. If you're new, I hope you enjoy the show going forward. And why don't you go back and you can listen to all the TNG episodes. You can catch up with us maybe by the time we finish TOS, although that should go a lot faster. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.